been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Everything Goes podcast. How's it? Hope everyone's doing okay.
We are up and running again on this rainy Thursday.
Obviously, there is a lot going on in the headlines. Some stuff, not that we don't want to talk about, just very sensitive topics to talk about. Obviously, the biggest one with yesterday all over social media is with the quarterback that I like, Drew Brees. Obviously, he said some things online where he was asked, what is his thoughts on, the upcoming season and people kneeling for the American flag, and he came out and basically said, he disagrees with it, with people kneeling, and blew up all over Twitter, man, all over
He's
Twitter.
racist, the whole 9 yards. He got to retire. F. Drew. They had a rally in New Orleans.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll say my side, and then I'll have your side, and then we'll just discuss. My biggest thing out of this whole thing that's going on, not even just Drew Brees, just everything that's going on is, obviously growing up, I feel like you and Mom obviously taught us to not even to love everybody. We were cool with everybody. I didn't care what your skin color was. You grew up in a school where you were like two white people out of everyone.
We're
was
colorblind.
Yeah,
we don't hate. We love. Treat people with respect. We don't look down on people because of their color.
No, I think, and what I've come to lately is the fact that how is there even racism in this world, and why? You know what I mean? It's crazy, and we have our views. I love the protest. I loved everything that's happening. Obviously, the riots, and I think the looting, kind of distracted everybody. But I love that there is such a movement right now, because I don't even know why there is racism in this world right now. But
this world revolves around hate.
Yeah, and it's terrible. I put that little video out on Facebook with me praying just because I think that the world needed it. But getting into the Drew Brees thing is, I'm gonna say it like this. When I first saw Colin Kaepernick kneel, obviously coming from a military background, it offended me a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to talk first, and then I'll let you do your side, because I think we should both get our sides in here. Over the years, and lately especially, I remember I've had some really good talks with military people, you being one of them, and I've gotten a lot of views. I've had a lot of military people say, I fight for that flag so that they have the right to protest. And I think one thing lately that we really think is we focus so much on the flag, and I'm starting to understand they're not doing it for the flag. They respect military people. They respect the flag. It's the hate that's going on in this world that they're really trying to get. Colin Kaepernick, a Green Beret soldier told him, he literally told Colin Kaepernick, I'd rather have you kneel than sit. If you sit, it's disrespectful. But if you kneel, at least you're not disrespecting the flag for me. And I get that. I think what's tough is I think as humans, we all have our own opinions. Drew Brees came out with his opinion. I just think it was at a very bad time. And I think being a leader and a quarterback for a team where you are in that locker room for those talks of the kneels, and you've seen and you've heard a lot of the talks from these African-American players who grew up in black communities and dealt with a lot of stuff. So you've heard their raw conversations, and you might have agreed with them in the locker room. And I'm not picking a side here for Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is a good Christian man. I don't think he meant to come out saying that he doesn't agree with what's going on in this world. And that's what I want to get across. I think Drew Brees has his own opinion. Unfortunately, I think it was at the wrong time. I still like Drew Brees, and a lot of people are accepting his apology. The thing that's tough is people that are still cursing him out and saying F your apology, because that is what will never heal this world. The man literally comes out and he says, I know what I did was wrong. I'm willing to learn what really is going on in this world. He's far from an enemy. Okay. And I love that people are like Demario Davis coming out and respecting it. But if we're going to move on from this, we have to understand and forgive him and move on.
The thing about America in a whole is right now is everything is super hypersensitive.
Yes.
Our men and our women, our brothers of arms who have fought to defend the freedoms that we have been given, I don't think they care about the kneeling thing. You know what? We have the freedom of assembly. We have the freedom of speech. We have the amendments. We have the right to make an opinion on things.
Yeah.
I don't think Colin Kaepernick was wrong.
No, I don't.
I think what he did, he's a brave man. You know what? I applaud him.
I do.
I don't think what Drew Brees did was wrong. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. He didn't come out and say that he hates Colin Kaepernick. He has family members who fought for that flag. That's the views he stands on. He doesn't think there should be anything going through the national anthem. And so be it. He is entitled to his opinion. He didn't bash nobody. He didn't hurt nobody. That guy has done more for the people of New Orleans and has done more for just for the NFL in general. And for this treatment, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
The treatment that Colin Kaepernick got was disgusting. The guy got kicked out of the NFL because of his views. And Tim Tebow, how he was treated, disgusting. Because he kneeled and he prayed. They kicked him out of football, basically. You know what? America in a whole, we have to grow up as a society. You know, we all have these Twitters and we have these Facebooks and we have all these things where we can go on and be big macho men, curse people out, and not give people the fairness that they deserve. Yeah. You know, it is so crazy right now, the times. But the thing that disgusts me is not the protesters. That doesn't disgust me because of what happened to George Floyd. Absolutely disgusting. And I think they undercharged all of them. They should have charged them with first-degree murder. I just think people have the right to assemble, express their opinions, and I think that's fine. But the part that disgusts me is when you see white women on a flipped upside down police car taking a crap butt naked in the middle of a city. Yeah. When you see black young Americans going into a store and beating the crap out of the store owner, throwing him out of his own store at gunpoint, looting. The thing that disgusts me is a black man who worked his butt from the projects to own a sports bar and have it burned down where he loses everything. Yeah. That disgusts me. Yeah. Where you have people smashing police cars, not realizing that they're going to end up paying taxes on those cars, stealing everything out of them, pushing them down the street, and endangering other lives. The thing that disgusts me are the videos of all the cops go up and see people protesting peacefully, take riot shields and slam it into their necks, or smack people with batons. That's what disgusts me. Yeah. And until all this change, it's not a black and white thing. We have people on both sides, and even Hispanics, that are disgusting and need to grow up and need God. This isn't about white and black. You know, you want to stop racism, everyone has to grow up. It has to start in the homes. Stop getting people to the point where, you know what? I hate this color. I hate that color. It has to change.
And I just want to chime in real quick. That's an excellent point. You know, we're not sitting here as two white men saying that we agree. We honestly hate racism. And I think what you just said is an amazing thing. It really goes into how you raise your house, I think, too.
You're not born to hate.
No. I mean, you think of the life that we lived. I mean, you grew up with two best friends who were black, and I consider them uncles. You know, I volunteer. We both volunteer at church, and it's very diverse. So we've always been around, you know, other races, and we've never grown to hate other races. And we think what is going on in this world is disgusting. There's a lot of unnecessary hate, and like we said, we're so for the protest. Obviously, like we said, the riots and lootings, it kind of distracted everybody. But what is going on in this world? I think the world is going to change after this for the good. Hopefully, for the good. But like I said to you just moments ago, I think the F you Brees chants and the people that are still cursing at him and telling him that he needs to retire. When he comes out and apologizes, when a man comes out and apologizes, like Michael Thomas, as annoying as Michael Thomas can be on Twitter, he hit the nail in the coffin when he said, the man did wrong, but when he came out and apologized, I forgave him because as Christians, that's what we're supposed to do.
And I agree with that 100%. But the problem with this whole thing is Drew Brees should not have to feel bad to the point where he has to apologize. He did not do anything wrong. He expressed his feelings towards the national anthem.
But that's the thing, though. I think Drew Brees wanted just to let people know that he may want to stand for the flag, but he's not saying that he doesn't know what's wrong in this world. He does. And he's hoping that he can learn even more and do more to help.
I mean, you have people out there that are burning the American flag. You
Yeah.
have people out there hanging the flag upside down. You have people out there saying that the American flag symbolizes racism. And they need to learn their history. They need to learn their facts. And people that burn an American flag has never had a folded one handed to them where
Yeah.
they lost a loved one that defended that flag.
Yeah.
You know, this world it's a mess right now. I mean, you have bigwig politicians that are in the Capitol Hill ripping up Bibles. You have a lot of stuff that has never been seen before in this country.
Yeah.
And it has to change. We're out of control.
I said the other day, I wish everyone could just get a little bit of Jesus, just so we could see the evil in this world and just show more love.
You got all these celebrity athletes that like to come out and run their mouths with their little blue checks on their little Twitter and all these little things. Why don't they all come up with a plan?
Did you continue the video, by the way?
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's easy to sit back with no plan and talk a bunch of crap. We know, everyone knows it has to be fixed, but we got to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And the plan has to start with, checking these police officers, doing background checks. When you have a white officer that's wearing a hat that says "Make America White Again," the guy that killed George Floyd,
Yeah.
we have problems.
Yeah.
Who's screening this stuff? I
Yeah.
mean, it has to start there because apparently this guy was full of hate.
And then I said that too, is obviously, the footage that has come out of the way cops react with the power they have. I honestly,
It's horrible
it's
to see.
sickening to watch. I don't think it's just a black thing. I think that I think it happens a little bit more, but I think that just in general, that cops are they have too much power.
Too much power.
And they're so quick to pull the trigger. I get it. I get it if you were in a situation where you felt like your life was in danger.
And I'm going to tell you, I mean, I know
It's not easy to be a cop. I get it.
Yes,
I get it.
And everyone thinks that this is a black and white thing. But I'm going to tell you what, I got pulled over back in February.
I'd be scared to be even as a white kid. I'd be scared to get pulled over.
It was 5:30 in the morning. I put my interior light on so you can see me. I put my one hand on top of the steering wheel, roll my window down, put my other hand outside the window with my license, and the cop still walked up with his hand on his gun.
Yeah,
I only have two hands.
Yeah. I've said like even as a white kid, like if I got pulled over nowadays, with how many videos you've seen, man, of people getting tased, shot just for flinching, I would be nervous, and I think that would get me shot because I'd be so nervous.
But this world needs an intervention. We need group. I mean, believe me, I don't want to fuel this fire, but I think racism is political, and there's people out there that thrive off of it. They love it. The news is one of them. They love to pump the hate. I can't stand it. And this is nothing against white against black, but why is it that only white cops killing black people is reported on the news? Why aren't all the incidents reported on the news?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why does there have to be a color involved? Just... This world thrives off of this, and it's sickening and it's disgusting. And you know what? To me, I hope to God one day we see change. But I just think there's too many people that don't want change.
And I said that. I said at the end of the day, I just don't know if we'll ever have peace because there's always gonna be someone. Why is it so hard to show, to get people's attention? There needs to be something to change because there's just too much hate in this world.
And you can see, there's some cops. I mean, not all cops are bad.
No.
Not all black people are criminals.
No.
Not all white people are racist.
Yeah.
Not all Mexicans are alcoholics. This world has to stop stereotyping people, because when you see video of people walking down the street saying "kill the whites," that's scary.
That is scary.
because
I don't want that white cop to represent me.
I bleed red like everybody else. I bleed red. Yeah. I don't want something to happen to me because of some idiot on the street that caused all this problem.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very tough thing that's going on, and like we said, we hate it, and we're hoping for the best. We're praying for this country as a whole. Something needs to change, and we all know that. But we're going to move on from this. We just wanted to give the little update on what we thought was going on, and hopefully everything comes back together in the Saints locker room, because I thought that this was going to be our Super Bowl chance.
It's going to be tough.
Michael Thomas accepted the apology. Demario Davis, who is a big leader, and Craig Robertson.
Malcolm Jenkins is a tough cookie to crack.
No, but Malcolm Jenkins, so this is what's nice. Drew Brees actually called Malcolm Jenkins, and he even said that on his Instagram. He said, Drew Brees and I talked over this, and we're good now, but I still wanted to post this video just to get other people's attention, I guess. But I don't know. But sticking to the Saints, just real quick, rumor came out today that Tom Brady was watching Drew Brees' status on retiring very closely. I guess that when the thoughts of Drew Brees retiring were real, and Drew Brees took a while to think about that. Tom Brady and the New Orleans Saints had mutual, serious interest of playing in New Orleans.
That's the nice thing about being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, man. When you're a free agent, you have a lot of options.
And then it says that the day Drew Brees came back and signed a 2-year, $50 million contract, that's when Tom Brady said to New England, I'm not coming back. But could you imagine if Drew Brees retired and Tom Brady was like, let me just slip in there for 2 and 3 years?
So you would have got another quarterback that can't throw the long ball.
Hey, if I would have got 2 Super Bowls out of that, I would have enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed it. Tom Brady in New Orleans, man. Oh, man, Taysom Hill running it. But
it would have been interesting.
It would have been very interesting. We'll stick with a little football here, though.
I got some good football news.
Yeah, good.
Dallas, the governor of Dallas, that Abbott guy, came out and said today that football and all sports complexes will be allowed to fill their facilities to 50% capacity. That's good for football because football's not starting for a while. So by the time season starts, it could be full 100% capacity. Restaurants are going to be opening up more and filling to a capacity number. I think now it's at 25%. It's going up to 50, and it could even go higher than that. I'm slowly coming back.
I'm very excited. Like my work's opening Friday, and a lot of things are open. A lot of things are going in green, and I'm praying so hard that this second wave that's a rumor. I really hope it doesn't happen. I want everything to be back to normal. 50% in stadiums, man, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's better than 0 fans.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when Tom Brady comes to New Orleans and plays the Saints week 1, Saints versus Bucks. I want a full stadium in there. I want a full stadium so loud Tom Brady can't even hear.
I got to give props to Dak Prescott, too. I don't talk much about him on a positive note. He actually donated $1 million to a police educational program to help educate police and get things going in the right direction. He put up a 4-page letter on Instagram if you guys want to read it. It's actually really, really good. Talks about, he came from a white mom and he came from a black dad. So, it's tough. And it's a really interesting, good read. And that's what we need. We need athletes like that have nothing negative. They're going to come out and they're going to be positive support and try to make a true change. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I really agree with that. And that's like, Jeter group, white mom, black dad. He spoke out about what he grew up with. That's very interesting. That's a very complex life to live.
Yeah.
Especially if you grew up in Jeter's age where racism was even worse.
Yeah, Mekon Carter's another one.
Yeah.
He's a pastor he grew up, in a rough area out in Seattle, and even had cops use the N-word towards him. And, he has got a white mom, a white uncle, and he's got a black dad, and he was confused because no one's ever talked to him like that before.
Yeah, it's
sad.
Terrible. It's a very sad thing. I'm very happy that camps are open. I think some facilities are starting to open too.
Dallas Cowboys coaches are coming back to work tomorrow.
I was going to say, there's a lot of coaches coming back. Everything's starting to look very positive. Before we get into some other stuff, George Kittle is basically at a stalemate right now with his negotiations. George Kittle doesn't want to be paid as a tight end. He wants to be paid George Kittle money. The highest paid tight end right now per year is $10.4 million. They're estimating Kittle will get 15, north of 15, maybe 20. I mean,
he deserves it.
And that's the thing, is I think he does deserve it. I mean, if you look at the 49ers, can you truly say that they would have won all those games without him? I think Kittle is a very big necessity to the 49ers.
Well, the other weapons they have, they're young. They don't have very good weapons at receiver. They got Emmanuel Sanders late in the season. I think Kittle was a big part of that.
And if you watch Kittle's highlight, man, he blocks as one of the best tight ends in the league. His hands are amazing in that. He's very good at catching. He's very good at running routes. And I think he's going to get paid like a wide receiver.
And they're another one of those teams, that they run that West Coast offense, a lot of screens, a lot of slants, the New Orleans style football.
Yeah.
Hardly ever hit it over the top.
I think
so. He's a big part of that. He's a big part of that offense.
I think John Lynch is going to get it done. The thing is, though, does COVID-19 take an effect into this? I think it could. You might lose revenue money but with the positive sign is that you're saying some stadiums, 50%. What you're seeing here, though, too, is we saw it with Jimmy Graham in the New Orleans. He wanted to get paid as wide receiver. I don't think he's as good as Kittle. I mean, maybe in the time he was, but it didn't happen. They took it to court. It didn't happen. Le'Veon Bell was one of the best running backs and wide receivers at the time. And he wanted to get paid like Le'Veon Bell, and they didn't. The Jets did. It wasn't that far off, honestly. I think, when you get a Kittle, a Gronk, a Kelsey, like these types of tight ends that you don't see a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the tight ends in the league that we've gotten over the past 10, 15 years.
Well, we talked with Mark Hamill about that.
And there's not a lot like that. Jimmy Graham was on the verge of it, kind of dropped off, injuries. Tony Gonzalez was a great one. That's another one. But Gronk was an elite tight end. He deserved to get paid like a Gronk. What's tricky with Kelsey, though, Kelsey has 2 years left in this contract. He's been an amazing tight end. Mahomes, though, is going to get paid probably in the 50s. Yeah. Will they have enough money if Kelsey comes out and says, I still have 2 to 3 years left in the tank. I want some big money. He's going to walk. Or will they trade some pieces away to get him? I mean, I think the Chiefs will be fine without him. You got Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins and Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and a good running back now. But, I mean, even the 49ers here, they're a stalemate. Are they thinking, will we have to trade somebody away to make this happen? Because you don't want to lose somebody like a Kittle.
A lot of teams, a lot of people have the 49ers falling off this year.
I feel like they lost a lot, though. I do. You saw they traded some defensive players away. They lost Goodwin. Their wide receiver core, I mean, they got Samuel, but who else is there?
Nobody. So, I mean, they have that rookie. That was Debo Samuel or whatever his name is, Debo. Yeah. He was pretty good last year.
Yeah, he was.
They're young, so we'll see. I still have, like I said, the Cardinals winning that division.
Now you have Hooper, who went to the Browns and got $40 million, $23 million guaranteed, and he got 10 and a half a year, basically.
He's a
good tight end. So you got to think Kittle's getting way more than that. You'd have to think he's getting somewhere probably between 30 to 40 guaranteed, and who knows how much money total. But I think he's going to break the charts for this, and I think this is just a stepping stone to what the tight ends are going to look like.
The NFL owners have a tough decision on signing these big contracts because
they're going to get bigger and bigger.
They're still saying that with the lack of fans, if they have people that don't have fans come to the stadiums, that the salary cap is actually going to go down next year, and they're saying it could actually go down $30 million. So that means there's going to be a lot of teams next year, if they do lower the cap $30 million, that are going to have to cut some good players. I mean, you think $30 million, that's like the Eagles saying, okay, we're going to have to cut Wentz because that's either going to cut a bunch of players or one player. That $30 million is Dak Prescott's franchise tag.
True.
So if they do lower the cap because of lost revenue, because of no fans, these guys are going to have to hold off on signing these big deals with these players.
I think that once the governors, once the league gets the green light to fill the fans, though, I don't think you're going to have trouble filling those fans. Even if you get 50%, you're going to get a bunch.
Well, there's still fear because let's face it.
I know there's still fear.
Football is going to be the highest contact sport where it's easy to spread the coronavirus. I mean, there's a report out there today. Five Alabama college football players have tested positive for coronavirus. There's also reports saying that some players from Oklahoma have the coronavirus. So I'm sure the NFL is sitting back and watching because once you get this ball rolling, say Drew Brees or say Tom Brady or Dak Prescott or any of the big name players gets coronavirus, they're not going to stop the season. You're going to be forced to go with a backup quarterback, a backup receiver, backup running back.
Andy Dalton.
So it's going to be interesting what happens, and these are the things they're trying to iron out. The good thing is unlike other sports, football has till late August to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think football's in a good spot. I think. Do you have any more football notes, real quick, by the way?
Yeah, I got the top.
All right, go ahead. I was going to get into something, but go ahead.
All right, the NFL came out with its top quarterback under pressure rating from the 2019 season.
Top QB under pressure.
Under pressure, the best quarterbacks in the league under pressure, and what they did.
So, like, when they say under pressure to score a touchdown, or under pressure as far as like the defensive lineman coming at you?
No, under pressure. Yeah, under pressure meaning under pressure by the defensive guys.
So how good they played with
this
that?
This is their passer rating under pressure, their completion rate above expectation.
Gotcha.
And completion rating overall. So number 10 under pressure is Daniel Jones with a 73.3% passer rating, a plus 0.2% completion rate above expectation, and a 53.1 completion rate overall.
Daniel Jones.
He had 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions under pressure, and nearly over 1,000 yards passing.
Wow.
Fared a lot better than many rookies in NFL.
I thought Daniel Jones played pretty well for a rookie, and I think that a lot of people gave him crap. I think that's going to be a good team.
I think he had 22 touchdowns, 11 picks or 12 picks. He's going to be fine there, and especially with
I like
the
Jones.
new coaches coming in there. Number 9 is Josh Allen with an 80% passer rating.
Wow.
Negative 0.2% completion rate above expectation, and a 41.7 completion rate overall. Allen attempted 87 passes under pressure. He had a 5 touchdown, 2 TD rating.
80%, man. I think the average, is passer rating is like a 73, 75, something like that, isn't it?
And this is just under pressure.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying under pressure though, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's real good. Dak Prescott comes in at number 8 under pressure with an 80.5% passer rating, a 0.0 completion rate above expectation, and a 49.3 completion rate. Let's see. He attempted the third most pressured passes, which means our line was crap. 144 of anyone. It's either the line was crap or he held onto the ball too long. I think he held onto the ball too long. The dogs stink.
Oh my gosh, man, it smells bad.
He's one of 2 on the list to break the 1,000-yard passing mark under pressure.
Oh, so him and Josh Allen are the only ones?
He had a 7 touchdown, 3 interception ratio under pressure, and 166 pressures recorded, and his 3 dimes completed on pressured attempts. God, these dogs are gonna blind me. Okay, number 7 is Matt Ryan with a 78.4 passer rating, 2.9 completion rate above expectation, and a 51.7% completion rate.
Matty Ryan coming in the 7 spot. 6 or 7?
7. Number 6, Matthew Stafford, and he only played half a season. He didn't play that much at the end. 84.2 passer rating, which shows you how horrible his line is. A plus 2.2 completion rate above expectation, and a 49.1% completion rate.
Dang.
His combined passer rating under pressure of an 83.8 is the 3rd best mark of any qualified NFL quarterback since 2016.
Dang.
Only Matt Ryan with an 87.9 and an Alex Smith of 86.3 was higher than him.
Alex Smith comeback story coming soon.
Kirk Cousins with a 91.5 passer rating.
Wow.
A plus 3.8 completion rate above expectation, and a 58.1 completion rate.
Wow. 90% you said.
Yeah.
Dang.
91.5.
Under pressure, man. That's nice. That's actually pretty good.
Number 4, Lamar Jackson. And there's interesting news about Lamar Jackson. Harbaugh came out and said that they're going to actually do less running with him next year. They want to keep him in the pocket and don't want to see him run as much. Wow, why would you change what was working?
Yeah,
anyway,
but you know why?
Don't want to see him get hurt.
You don't want to see him get hurt.
93.1 passer rating, plus 5.5 completion rate above expectation, and a 49.2 completion
Wow,
rate.
91% as a second-year man. 91% under pressure. That's good. That's a guy that's sticking in the gut, sticking in the pocket, or he's running out. And
The most intriguing statistic was a touchdown to interception ratio Jackson posted while under pressure. 8 touchdowns to 3, which is nearly 22% of Jackson's 36 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Number 3, and this is a shocker because everyone bashes this guy, Derek Carr, with a 103.7 passer rating, a 5.9 completion rate above expectation, and a 66.7 completion rate.
He's always
the guy
running
is
anyway.
always running for his life.
100, man. Over 100.
Number 2, good old Drew. Drew Brees with a 105.9
Drew
passer
Brees!
rating, a
Still my
positive 4.4 completion rate above expectation, and a 63.3 completion rate.
Say it louder for the people in the back. It's MVP.
Let's see. Brees' numbers aren't too far off of Tannehill's, though Brees wasn't pressured often, 72 times, as Tannehill was 98. 105 passer rating under pressure is the 2nd best mark in a single season since 2016.
Still my quarterback.
And the number 1 pressured quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, with a 112.4 passer rating, a plus 8.7 completion rate above expectation, and a 64.2 completion rate.
Wow. Good for him.
There you go.
That's why I got
There's
paid.
Our best quarterbacks under pressure from 2019.
That's why I got paid over Henry, because he's the best pressure quarterback there you want.
Yeah.
We're getting to the end of this podcast. It's going to be a little shorter, but we want to talk about the NBA proposal that came out. 22 games. You want me to explain it? You want to explain?
Go ahead. You read it.
I'll spit these
I know a little
facts
bit of
off to you guys. So it's going to be 16 teams, okay?
Well, no, it's going to be 22 teams in the beginning.
I know. You didn't let me.
22 teams are going to play. They're going to play 8
game
regular season.
I already said 20. Am I talking or are you talking? I already said 22 teams, okay? It's going to be 22 teams to start. You have 13 teams from the Western Conference, only 9 teams from the Eastern Conference. They're going to narrow it down to 16 teams, and this is how. There's going to be 8 more games played that adds to your season record, and then everybody will be reseeded. But this is where it gets strange. Yes, there's only supposed to be 16 teams, but the 2 number 9s on each conference, if they are 4 games out from the number 8 spot, which doesn't make sense to me, but I guess so, they will play a game against the 8 seed, and if they want to get into that, game. It's a best 2 out of 3 only for the 9. If the 9 has to win twice to get in, the 8 has to win once to secure that spot. It's a very weird thing, but NBA is back. The Sixers are in. Let's hope that we don't get beat by the claw again.
I'm just so glad there's some kind of sports coming back. The only thing that sucks, it doesn't start till July 31st.
Yep, July 31st in Orlando.
And they're saying that this season could go into late September, I guess, with the playoffs the way they're doing it, and that by the championship will be over by October. That only gives them 2 months to get ready for the next season because they're starting the next season Christmas of December 2020. It's crazy. It's dead air.
Well, I'm thinking, it's just weird. NHL's coming back, NBA's coming back, and it's like by the time their seasons end, their off season's almost over.
Well, they're changing. They want to change the start of the season now. This is Mark Cuban's plan. They want to start the NBA season in December because they do not want to interfere with college football and stuff like that. So
then after that year, we'll go back to normal.
They think in December, all eyes will be on them to watch the games, even though, they might have to shorten the season because I think 85 games is too long for an NBA season. But I'm just glad it's back. We need
Sports
something.
Are coming back, and it's
they're
so good.
They're gonna play in Orlando. They're gonna have 2 facilities down in Orlando, 2 arenas. They're gonna have multiple games being played a day, and they're all gonna be quarantined down there.
July 31st is close to when schools are going back, and if my girlfriend's going to school in Florida and I go down there with her to help move her in, maybe I'll stay an extra day and watch a game and see if I can get an interview with one of them guys up there.
There's some sad news. KFC is getting rid of the wedge. The potato wedges are done at KFC. After 3 decades of goodness.
I'm sad to say it, but I never get them at KFC. Like, I used to get them in school. I love them. I think they're good, but I always just get the mac and cheese and taters.
3 decades of goodness is done. They are now getting rid of it.
Where do we get our wedges now?
You're gonna have to get the KFC French fries.
Before we end this, I want to say one thing, that the MLB might go on strike because the MLPA has proposed a 112-game season, and the MLB is not countering it. So if they go on strike, that simply means that players like me and you who have been practicing might have a chance to go play in the pros and make an MLB roster.
No. The Players Association came out and they counter-offered the owner's original deal, and they came out with it was a 114-game season starting July 4th. And they wanted to play as many games as possible to make as much money as possible. But the owners who are sticking to their guns and they're making this a money thing, there's a lot of owners out there that just don't want to have a season this year. They don't want to lose the money of the fans. They're not going to come out and say that, but they don't want to pay these players what they need to pay them.
And if I was a young guy that's only been playing MLB for like a year or two and I start, and I'm not like a star yet, I would want to play because just say, for instance, MLB goes on strike and they call up some minor leaguers who are dying to play. What if they play better than you and then they're like, well, you're not playing next year now because we have our new starter? Trevor Bauer was interviewed by Pat McAfee, and he says that every player that he has talked to, they want to play. It's just a matter that it hasn't gotten done. But he believes that 90 to 100% that they're going to play this year, that's going to get it done. There's going to be a done deal, but I just don't know. MLB is not giving. They shouldn't give.
The thing that's horrible is they're cutting players right and left. I think there's almost 1,000 players combined that have been cut in the MLB. The rumor has it that they actually want to get rid of low A baseball altogether. But the thing is the draft's coming up.
There is a lot of levels, though.
The MLB draft's coming up. It's only a 5-round draft this year. And these coaches and these GMs, they're going to have to pick players who they haven't even got to see play.
There shouldn't be I mean, I guess I could for 16-year-olds and stuff. But if they're going to get rid of it, there should just be a single A, double A, triple A pros. No low A, way low A,
Well, the most interesting thing, though, is that actually if the MLB does play, they are actually focused right now on what's going on in Japan. 2 players in the Japan Baseball League have actually tested positive for the coronavirus, and they were watching what is going on over there. See
was
how
that just a flash?
That was lightning. They're watching to see how they're going to handle it and how they're treating this incident over there, because if it does happen in the United States, like I said before about football, they do not want to shut the season down again. They want to keep going, and they want to keep everything going as far as possible. They will isolate that one person. So it's gonna be something that they're gonna keep an eye on, and hopefully baseball does come back. But they're gonna lose a lot of fans, because millionaires and billionaires fighting over money during all this is going on in the world is just not good business.
No. I've actually been rewatching the World Series, and I've been so pumped for baseball to come back. I actually. What's sad is every time I see the Astros celebrate, or I see Correa celebrate, I'm just like, shut up, you cheated.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of a short version podcast today, just because we've had a lot of family stuff going on lately, and a lot of stuff going on.
We have got a new addition to our family.
We do.
We have a granddaughter, niece for him, granddaughter for me. She was just born about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. We actually had to pause this video so we can get the news. We're pumped. We're pumped because with all the evil in the world, God still blessed us with something positive.
And last Tuesday I had to work, so that's a good excuse. And yeah, but Tuesdays and Thursdays are still our typically thing. This will be up on all platforms. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We like to tweet out at people.
We hope everybody stays safe. We hope the coronavirus eventually goes away. You notice how no one's talking about COVID-19 anymore.
It's going away. It's a myth.
Yeah, we hope everyone stays healthy and this world turns around. And may us all be blessed.
Hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Hey.